Yo, good afternoon, folkers. Snap Turtle in the truck, as usual. A little late today, but it's all good, I'll get there when I get there. I'm always there on time, you know what I mean? You know, it just has to do with discipline. You show up on time. You show up early. You have a meeting with a potential enemy. You're gonna show up on time. You're gonna show up a little early and scope out the place. You're gonna show up early, do a little recon, do a little reconnoitering. Yeah, very well. This is actually, this is 48th Street actually. What's up, Joyce? 48th Street. But you close. What's good, y'all? Look at the sky today. So y'all missed all the chemtrail spraying they did, but maybe you can see it up there above the fluffy clouds up there. See that? See that little haze above the fluffy God damn it, fluffy clouds. You can see that haze right there. They're trying to break that shit up. We had a good amount of rain, and last night and the day before. Good amount. Supposed to be more next week. We'll see how they do. We'll see if they don't mess with it. But they had to get rid of that though. They had to stop it. And it was a shitload of. Anyway, it's just very disappointing. I like the rain, and you can see how the rain can scrub the sky, man. It's a beautiful thing. Well, if you saw the title of my live, that was not a mistake or a joke. Roli Polio is back. Okay? They just have it under a different name. They call it acute flaccid myelitis. All right? But it's just a different name for polio. If you do the research, if you look at it, if you look into it, they'll tell you it's a polio-like disease, okay? But it's a different strain. They don't know what the cause is. Right? Because this was a couple weeks ago. They said they didn't know what the cause was because it's too few cases. At the time, it was like 60 cases all across the country. All right? Now, there are 116 cases of children contracting this polio-like disease and becoming paralyzed. Okay? They become paralyzed. Just like with polio. It has the same characteristics and same symptoms as polio, only it's not, right? That's what they say. They say it's not polio, but I posit that it is fucking polio. They just gave it a different name because guess why? Because they already have a polio vaccine. Peace. For black righteous folks was good. Yeah. They don't want to call it polio because we already have a polio vaccine that they've been pushing on us. Okay? Now, I believe that polio is really a result of all the chemical processes that happen to the food that we eat, that they put out into the world. Okay? All these chemicals, it can't be good for us. All these vaccines, I don't trust any vaccine. I don't fucks with none of them. Okay? And what you have now is this polio copycat springing up, and they're going to tell you that it's not polio, and they don't know the cause. I keep stressing they don't know the cause because they then go on to say that they know it's not caused by the polio vaccine. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. They don't know the cause. But they know it's not the polio vaccine. Oh man, it's wild, man. Like it's like when you can't prove a negative. So you can't prove a negative. What's up, Stace? You can't prove a negative, right? And so that they're saying a negative. It's not the polio. They had to put that. It had its own line. If you look at the article, I think it was go to the MSNBC article. Okay, go to the MSNBC article. Look this up. Acute flaccid myelitis. Okay, what it is it's a it's a respiratory disease that can manifest in many ways, and then it can attack your spinal cord. Your spinal cord gets inflamed, and here you have these symptoms, right? But what it's doing is it's stripping the myelin from the nerves. Okay, myelin is like insulation for the nerves. It's on the skin. It's in the spinal cord. All your nerve cells have myelin. It's an insulation that protects it. It strips it, and then the nerves become swollen, and it compresses, and it just fucks your spine up. Okay, same thing happens with ALS, multiple sclerosis. All these things are all these diseases are very similar. They do similar things. Similar things happen. They just call them different names. Okay, they call them different names. All this is a variant of the same shit. All these things, MS, ALS, didn't spring up until after the polio vaccine was introduced. Okay, the polio vaccine got introduced, and this doctor, I think it was back in the 20s or 30s, he was hailed as this great miracle worker who got rid of polio through the polio vaccine. Okay, now my favorite show, one of my favorite shows ever, The Wire. Okay, look at that. If you don't know what The Wire is, you better go check that out. It's one of the best written shows of all time. Anyway, your man Stringer Bell is talking about he's a drug dealer, right? But he's high level, right? He's high level drug dealer. He's like the right hand man of the drug kingpin, okay? And he's sharp. He's more business minded than his partner Avon Barksdale, okay? So they're selling this product, and another cat is moving in on their territory, okay? And so I think Marlo came in around this time, Marlo Stansfield. And not only that, their product is becoming crappy, okay? Their product is crappy, and they're having a hard time selling it. So Stringer comes up with the idea of changing the name of the product, so it's like something fresh and new. All right, it's the same thing they're doing with these diseases, man. They're recycling they're changing the names of these diseases, because when you come out with a vaccine, right, that you want to inject into people, you want to inject people with this poison, you can't say it's curing something or it's preventing a disease. Oh, there was a loss, Stacy. I'm sorry, I had to go back and look at it and see what happened. It's really hard to read the chat when I'm driving, and every now and then I look at it when I stop. But I'm sorry for your loss. Damn, must have something to do with what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This shit is real, and it touches people. You know, it affects people in a real way, and we have to say no to these vaccines. But like I'm saying, man, they can't say, "Oh, I have this miracle vaccine that cures this disease," right? And then you give the child this vaccine, and they grow, and they still end up contracting this very disease that you're injecting a vaccine into them for. So they have to change the name of the disease, so it's something new. All right, they have to change the name. They have to call it something different. Damn, man, that threw me off, man. I wish I can go back and read that. Anyway, man. So, yeah. So they changed the name, man. Acute flaccid myelitis ain't nothing but a um, polio, a variant of polio. Okay. So now, what do you think is going to happen? Now there's 116 cases as of today in 33 different states. Okay. 33 different states, 116 cases. And how is this happening? How is this happening right now? They don't know the cause, but it's not the vaccines. You can't. People have to be dumb to see that and actually believe what they're reading. When you tell somebody, I don't know who murdered that person, but it wasn't the guy over there with the knife in his hand and the blood dripping from it. Okay, you have to. People are just too stupid, man. They don't. They have to wake up. We have to wake these people up. We have to bring awareness. And you know, Stacy, whatever happened, I mean, I'm glad that you decided to speak up on it. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do that. You know, one of my nieces got the polio vaccine, right? And God bless her heart, man. She pulled through the reaction. Okay, but for a week she couldn't feel her legs and couldn't walk right. Let me tell y'all something about Californians, man. California drivers, they're assholes. They see you're trying to merge, like here it goes again. They see you trying to merge into an express. One of them, you're trying to get over. I had my blinkers on. They see you trying to get over, they speed up so you don't get in front of them. They speed up only to pass you so that you don't get in front of them, even though they're going slower than you. Anyway, my bad, man. Stuff like that pisses me off. This is what we dealing with in the world. Okay, this is what we dealing with. You know, we see all kind of. You know what pisses me off, man? I'm in a bad mood because of this stupid bullshit they're talking about. This acute massive flaccid. The names they make up: acute flaccid myelitis. What the fuck are you talking about? It just pisses me off, man. Like, you know, my wife, she likes to watch these semi soap opera-ish, these soap opera hospital movies or hospital TV shows. You know what I'm saying? And it never fails. Every single fucking show, you got 4 or 5 different hospital shows out there nowadays. And on every one, they have to have an episode dedicated to campaigning for vaccines. And I'm sitting up here. I'm trying to get ready for work yesterday, and she's watching The Good Doctor. It's a new show about this autistic kid who's a doctor. And that's another thing. See, they're normalizing everything, right? Anyway, so there's these 2 doctors. They're talking to a patient. One doctor is kind of like pro-choice in terms of vaccines, and the other doctor is this real hardcore pro-vaxxer who is saying, oh, they're both talking about it, and the one doctor's like, look, you know, I understand you did the research, you looked into it, you know somebody who died, blah, blah, blah. They had a bad reaction to getting the vaccine and they passed away. I can understand your hesitation, but the other doctor wants to get rid of them as patients. Okay? Want to get rid of them. And then the other doctor, the more sensible doctor, the more rational doctor, is saying, look, man, do no harm. That's in the oath. Do no harm. And if we send these people away because they don't want to do the type of treatment you want them to do, then you treat these people without pissing on them about not having a vaccine. Okay, so the kid got sick. You know what happens, man? Kids get sick, and vaccine or no vaccine. You feel me? So she goes into this whole sob story about something. I couldn't even listen. I had to walk out of here, man, because it was straight bullshit. Okay? But they're going to do this. You watch these shows, this is what they're going to do, man. Everything, and you know what? my friends, I'm all over the place today because every time I touch on something and I'm pissed off and it reminds me of something else, I think about that and get more pissed off. Okay? I believe there's no such thing as entertainment. Okay? Everything is education. Everything you watch on TV, they're trying to educate you in a negative or positive way, or assimilate you, or indoctrinate you, or recruit you into a certain frame of thinking. Okay? There's no such thing as entertainment. And then I was talking about how my dudes that we were supposed to do this podcast together, I don't want to talk about entertainment and hood shit. I'm like, look, bro, I don't believe in entertainment. And I wrote a book, right? So the other homie is like, you wrote a book and you're putting it out for sale and it's fiction, and you don't believe in entertainment? Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I wrote a book. It's fiction. It's an enjoyable, fun to read book, but you also learning something from it. You learning something. And I'm not trying to indoctrinate people in my book. I'm trying to bring about awareness even in my fucking book. So this is what I'm saying, man. There's no such thing as entertainment. And, you know, I was watching this podcast with the Fullerton Informer, right? Good shit. But he was on the show with his boy, Gary Delane or whatever. I think he's a racist motherfucker. His own boy. Because he called some that were in Minnesota an infestation. And I went on there. I had to tell. I had to go on the chat. I said, that motherfucker racist. In Minnesota. This acute flash of myelitis. This kid was saying, you know, you let refugees come in here, and they let them go to Minnesota. It's an infestation. Infestation, my nigga? They some roaches? I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed at this bullshit because they keep coming at us with this obvious bullshit. It's so obvious. That's why I had to tell, man, it's obvious. There's no stealth involved. Like, they don't even care anymore. You got overt snitches snitching on a live. You got niggas snitching on themselves. You got people making dumbass statements like, oh, we don't know what the cause is, but we know it's not polio. It's dumb. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Back. Let's go back to the diseases, right? So they're going to push this, right? And they're going to beat this drum forever. They're going to pass legislation. See, this shit's going to get out of control. This polio bullshit, all right? This acute flash of myelitis is going to get out of control. I'm praying that it doesn't, because see, every time for the last few years, actually, they've been trying to push it out to scare the public and to make some shit. I don't know. Ebola. Another year we had the Zika. Another year we had bird flu. Another year is H1N1. Another, like every year, it's some new shit, right? But it never goes out of control. It never proliferates. But maybe those were just tests to see how the public would receive it. Because I know at the time of the bird flu, I was younger, and I was scared. I was like, oh shit, I didn't want to be around anyone. See? Yep. And you know what? Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Okay, now this shit came out in February, right? But I just found out about it. Yeah, swine flu, all kind of shit. What happened? Do you know anyone who got the swine flu? I didn't. I don't know anybody got the swine flu. But back in February, in New Jersey, they found an Asian tick, an Asian longhorn tick on a sheep in New Jersey. And they don't know where the fuck it came from. Okay? They don't know where that came from, right? This tick. But, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh man, this is crazy, man. This tick, it's all over the place. Like, they found it in more places since February. But this tick was never before seen outside of Asia, except for in a government lab. Guess what? They don't know where the tick came from. but you had it in your lab. You were testing it in your lab. How come every time y'all got some shit in your lab that's foreign to us, that shit get out and you don't know where the fuck it came from? Where they do that at? What happened? Are you kidding me? And it's just, listen, man, all these things that they're introducing, all these diseases that the tick could give you, that these mosquitoes can give you, that the mosquitoes they're dropping into California every fucking day, because now they make it into my house every goddamn, when it's raining, pouring rain, they're in my house yesterday biting my daughter. Okay, but thankfully my children have great immune systems. You know, I take care of them. They've never been vaccinated. They eat healthy. They barely eat sugar, barely. They might eat some fruit, but I barely give them sugar. I might give them some pancakes once a week on Sunday after we do our workout, our big workout. We work out a few times a week, but I don't give them pancakes every time we work out. Anyway, so yeah, man. Every time it's a disease, right? It's some neural disease. It's something that affects your nervous system. Okay? Something that affects your nervous system. And now that we have this 5G coming out, and they have done studies on millimeter wave transmissions since the 70s. And even in the 70s, they determined that these millimeter wave transmissions were harmful to the human body. Okay? You get hit with millimeter waves as constantly as you will when they proliferate this fucking 5G shit. You're gonna bring this Y gig shit in your house. Y gig is gonna operate on 50 millimeter. You can't get 60 gigahertz on a microwave. You have to raise it up. See, this is the wave, right? The higher it is, the larger it is. Like when the height, that's the millimeter and all that shit. And when you compress it, the closer it is together, the more you get these squiggly lines within a certain cycle. That determines how many cycles you get, or how many revolutions you get in a cycle. So you can't get 60 gigahertz on a microwave. But when you go into millimeter waves, that's a whole nother level, man. That's radiation. And so you have these nanoparticulates that spray into the sky, okay? Neurotoxins, aluminum, barium, okay? All that shit. You got neurotoxins that are spraying in the sky to reflect the sunlight. You got vaccines with, guess what? Aluminum adjuvants, okay? Another neurotoxin yet again, okay? Polio, neural disease, okay? Then what do? You hit us with millimeter waves that disrupt our blood-brain barrier, okay? The blood-brain barrier is very important. If you don't have a strong blood-brain barrier, these neurotoxins like aluminum gonna get up in here. Millimeter waves react with the, you have all kind of electrical impulses and synapses going on in your brain. Okay? Even with a Bluetooth, if you use a Bluetooth 10, 12 hours a day, right? You got it attached to your ear and you're walking around, you at work. I used to do it all the time. I did it all the time, man. I was walking around with a Bluetooth at work. That shit made the time go by. I ain't gonna lie to you. But then I started getting these little headaches, like right up in here. Okay? I had to go get a brain scan because it's free with the union, right? You get one CAT scan a year. And it's important. If you can get that cracking, go get that CAT scan. Because it saved lives. It saved lives of many electricians in my union. Okay, they found shit, they found growths. But anyway, using this Bluetooth, I started feeling weird, started getting hot in my ear, hot around this area. And I'm like, man, So I did some research on the effects of Bluetooth. It's very low frequency. Bluetooths are very low frequency. It's lower frequency than your phone. You walk around with the phone in your ear, it's gonna be worse. You ever walk around with the phone in your ear? You talking to your buddy or somebody, or you cupcaking to your wife for 30 hours, and then your whole head get hot. Radiation. So you have all these things working in conjunction, all these neuro disruptors. Neuro. Okay? Even millimeter waves can affect your cardiovascular system as well. So, because guess what? The heart runs automatically. It's an involuntary muscle spasm. That's all it is. And what causes muscle spasms? What causes muscle spasms? Freaking electrical impulses from the brain telling your heart to beat. Okay, so yeah, there has been accounts of heart attacks, people passing out. Troy High School in Fullerton, they tested some of this 5G WiGig stuff right in there. They put some extracurricular shit. They put these wireless access points in the schools, because in this particular school, because the sheet metal walls, there's sheet metal in the walls, they wouldn't get a good signal in the classroom. So they put these wireless access points in these classrooms. And what you had then, after a while, was everyone's getting headaches, everyone's getting stomach cramps, everyone is having heart problems. These children are becoming depressed, okay? Because not only do you have a wireless access point in the classroom, but it's a classroom with a metal wall. That shit's bouncing. Listen, man, you're not getting any relief. There's no windows. You ever go to these classrooms, man? I'm working in a school right now. Okay? I'm working at a school right now. No fucking windows. No windows. And you talking about schools that were built 20, 30 years ago. Why are there no freaking windows in these classrooms? Okay, all this ties in with, you ever notice that? You guys got kids in school. Do you see windows in these classrooms? Or are they blacked out? Or they got cages over them? Peace, brother. You know what I mean? What was it? What's happening there, man? Our kids are in a prison, and they got to be in school from 8 o'clock in the morning to 2:30 or 4 o'clock. That's wild, man. My kids are in class right now, right? But their class is outdoors, and they attend class at a picnic table, okay, with trees, and they stand up and they walk around barefoot. That's what my kids are doing right now, and it's only 4.5 hours in one day. They only go to this class once a week, and they go to their other class once a week. They're constantly outdoors. They're getting sun. They're talking to, you know what I mean? Like, there's no pressure. They don't get homework. They don't get sent home with homework. They do maybe 2 hours or 3 hours of work at the house, during days that they don't go out to school. And they all test above the grade level when they do these retarded mandatory state tests. Anyway, so all these things are working together, man, to attack our children and to attack us. Acute flaccid myelitis, my ass, man. That shit ain't nothing but polio. Okay, polio-like disease. See, if they wanted to throw us off even more, why would they even throw polio in there? You want people to be suspicious? I'm not calling it polio. If it's me and I want to create this vaccine based on this new disease that's coming out, and even if it's very similar to polio, I'm not calling that shit polio-like. See how dumb they think we are, and most of us are. But you see how dumb they think we are when they do this shit. Okay. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say because, man, like you don't know where to go. You know, I wanted to move to Costa Rica because Costa Rica is so beautiful, right? Costa Rica is gorgeous, okay? And they love black people out there, okay? They'll still charge your ass gringo prices if you don't know Spanish, but it's full spectrum dominance. Exactly. But Costa Rica is friendly to African Americans. If you want to consider going somewhere out of this country, Belize, Costa Rica, Panama, okay? Wow, beautiful things. All right, Stacy, much love to you. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, I was thinking about Costa Rica or Belize, getting some land out there, building a villa. You know, of course, I can buy land. I can't work though. I have to like operate a business. So I was like, shoot, I can go down there near the beach and you know, pretty much go down to the beach and become a perma vacationer and open up a bar or something. Hire some Costa Ricans to work for me. And I got my VA disability. My VA disability will stretch out there. You understand what I'm saying? And I necessarily wouldn't have to work. I wouldn't necessarily have to work. But I was thinking about becoming an English teacher, you know what I'm saying, for 6 months, get myself established. No. No, hell no. Ain't he in Africa? I thought he was in Africa. But one thing that makes me nervous about moving to Costa Rica is that they don't have a military. They banned their military because they want to focus on business economy. And I can appreciate that, right? I can appreciate it. But at the same time, yeah, Africa, he can stay there. I'm going to go, if I go anywhere, it's probably going to be somewhere like in the Caribbean. I ain't going to nobody's Africa, okay? You know, I really don't want to leave the U.S., but I'm looking at my options. I definitely got to get out of Cali. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Cali is dead to me. I'm done. But, you know, we'll see. Anyway, no military in Costa Rica. That makes me nervous, man. Because if there's ever like some type of invasion, they bring that shit to the U.S., okay? Countries like Costa Rica, Panama, and they're right next to each other. Belize, right next to Costa Rica. All those will be very strategic places, right? To begin an invasion, like, or to stage something. And then those people will get pushed around like nobody's business. I don't know about that. So you always got to look at where you want to move to and see what's what. You always got to think strategy, you know. You know, if you ever played Risk was the shit. That's a good game to play. Bust that Risk out, and it helps teach strategy. But military strategies, I'm always thinking about that when I consider where I'm moving to. California is the worst, yo. Strategically, oh man, that's why this is the freaking sacrifice state. Okay, they're in Alaska. I don't know if y'all are aware. They just had a 7.0 earthquake in Alaska. And they have a tsunami warning. So, you know, my prayers go out to the people in Alaska. You know, I know a couple brothers out there went out there to work. So, you know, much love to them. My prayers go out to them. You guys send your prayers out to Alaska as well, man, because, you know, this shit's getting wild, man. Yeah, 7.0. So, yeah, they busted some roads, got busted up. I haven't heard about anyone dying, but, you know, I'm gonna look into that a little more. I just found out before leaving for work, so I didn't really have time to look into it, but I'm going to, and I might touch on that. But I think tonight I'm gonna touch on, yeah, I know, yeah. Hey, listen, Derek, you know we both vets. You know what I'm saying? We always. It doesn't matter how long you've been out. I've been out for over 14 years. Yeah, you know I don't even watch the news. I just look on Google. If you go to your Google search, and they'll have all kind of articles. You can look up shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a newspaper in the morning, except it's right there on your phone. Oh man, check on him. Check on him, Derek. Remind me when we next time he does a live. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anyway, I'm gonna hop to it. And this evening, after work, I know it's probably not a good time because that's when I get the worst views. But I'm gonna talk about my book, man. I'm gonna plug my book a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit in depth about it because it's very good. Um, it's gotten a couple of great reviews on Amazon, blah blah blah. But yeah. Anyway, so much love to y'all. I will see you. Yeah, 28 years. It don't matter when you got out. That shit stays with you. All right, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out. Love.